In this video, we are going to be looking at what I think is going to happen in the 2024 election. 270 to win does already have a map, but I probably don't fully agree with it. For example, Texas, I'm going to put in a lean Republican category because I think that while it will go to the Republicans, I do think it's going to be less than 5%. Based on the newest poll out of Iowa, I'm putting that in the lean Republican category as well. I think Iowa is going to be closer than people might anticipate Ohio being. So that's that for the lean category. I think that we could see, a few other states maybe not go the way that, in the exact categories than expected. Like, for example, I see Missouri possibly only being in the likely Republican category, considering that Kansas is also defaults to likely under this map. So there's that. Looking at the Democratic side, I mean, I mostly agree with it, though I probably would put Colorado as a likely Republican state, because again, if and it depends on what you need, but from what I heard, usually 15% is what it needs to be safe, and I just don't think Colorado's going to get to that point of being a 15% margin. As a matter of fact, they almost see it easier for New Mexico to go safe blue, but I don't see that happening. I think we could also see potentially Washington be just a smidge under that 15% mark. So therefore, I'm going to put it in that category. Again, I mean, I know it's a borderline call, but these are some things I could just see happening. But getting to the more serious business, we have the swing states to discuss and to analyze. And first of all, we need to put Arizona as a swing state because it's like one of the 7. I know that I've been hearing people debate, we can never count Florida out of it, although based on the fact that Trump's home state, I'm actually going to now. And even though I have states in the lean category, although we don't have any lean blue states, I'm going to just think that, you have these states in the lean, but they're not really the swing states, so to speak. Although we'll be adding probably some lean blue states. Now, as for the swing states, here are my predictions on how it's going to go. North Carolina is going to lean red. I think Republicans do win that one by more than 1%. Based on what I've been hearing out of Arizona, and I really wanted Arizona to go blue, but I think it's gonna tilt red. I think that Republicans can, based on what I've been hearing out of Maricopa County and everywhere else, I think Republicans can, narrowly flip Arizona. It's gonna be tight. It is going to be tight. Wisconsin, I think that will actually go in the lean blue category. Wisconsin, out of the Rust Belt states, even though it used to be the most Republican, seems to be leaning the most Democrat in this election, especially with what you hear out of Milwaukee. And I don't think that there's much of a chance for Democrats in Wisconsin. Michigan, I wouldn't even argue is really that much of a swing state, so it's also going in the lean blue category. And now it's really leads down to Nevada, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. And they say that, whoever wins Pennsylvania is going to win the election. And, I mean, that's not really true because, as you can see, if Republicans win Pennsylvania, they are at 265. Now, if Democrats win Pennsylvania and everything's correct, they are at the 270 threshold required to win. But, if it goes to the Republicans, then they're not quite at that threshold. So, even though I'm not necessarily sure you need Pennsylvania to win the election, and it might not come down to Pennsylvania, there's a very good chance that it does. And that whoever wins Pennsylvania is winning the election. So as a result, we're going to look at Nevada and Georgia first. And Nevada, I think, is going to go in the tilt blue column. Tilt blue. Now, as you can see, if Democrats win Georgia, they won't even need Pennsylvania. But we'll get to that. Actually, now I realize that Republicans are going to need both of these states to win the election. I probably did it in way too much of anticlimactic fashion, but that's my bad. Nevada, I think, is going to go in a lean blue category because, again, like I've been hearing reports about Nevada flipping red. I've been hearing about this, but I'm just not so sure. In 2022, Nevada, they flipped the governorship red, but um, Democrats, I think, have 3 House seats in Nevada now. 3 House seats after the successful gerrymander, leaving Republicans only 1. And the Senate seat did not turn red. Senate seat did not turn red in Nevada. So that's that. And, just looking at everything else, I just don't think Nevada has enough of a Republican instinct in it to flip red. Now, as for this, based on what I've been seeing in Pennsylvania and the way it is, I think Pennsylvania is gonna tilt blue. I think Georgia's also gonna tilt blue. Again, like based off of what I'm been hearing out of these states, like Pennsylvania. There's been a lot of problems in Republican counties with ballot issues. That might dissuade some voters. And Georgia, again, I still think that there's just enough of a blue instinct in that state to really go along with it. But like we're seeing these shifts across the country from where it might have been last election. Like, why are they seeing this? And just think it's interesting to see, and we'll see ultimately my predictions are right. Again, Till is anything below 1, 1 to 5 is leans, likely is 5 to 15, safe is about 15. Now let's look at Senate, because I do also want to look at quickly who's going to win the Senate. So, currently this is our Senate outlook with 51 to 49. How is it 55 to 49? What? No, I'm sorry, that's not how it works. Okay. So these are the predictions that we're seeing. We're seeing Ohio as a toss-up, but I don't agree with this map at all. I don't agree with this map at all. So what we're going to actually do now is take away every single state and see how I'd put them, because, again, like, a lot of this stuff I just do not agree with. I think the safe blue states, I think that Maine is pretty safe to stay Democrat. Oh, well, technically safe independent. Same for Vermont, but they really are Democrat. New York, actually, I'm not going to say for Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, I absolutely will put in a safe column. Same for Delaware and New Jersey, because I don't really think Republicans have a chance. Virginia, same thing. I think that, popular incumbent senators typically have a big advantage in their states. California, Washington are also going in a safe blue column. As for safe red, we have Utah that's going to be a safe red state. Wyoming, Montana. I actually think both Nebraska ones are probably going to be safe. And same for North Dakota. Wait, actually Montana? Wait. I forgot there's a Democratic incumbent. My bad. Missouri, actually, nah. Not with Josh Hawley. Tennessee, Mississippi, I see being safe. Indiana as well. Now, here's where we have to realize that, the incumbency advantage matters. As for the likely states, I'm going to put New York as a likely Democratic state, even though I don't want Gillibrand to win, and I think it's going to be close. I think she will win. Maryland, Larry Hogan looked to make it interesting for a while, but I just don't see that magic continuing. New Mexico is going to go in this column as well. Same for Minnesota. As for the likely Republican states, Missouri, I think, is going to go here. I know Vic Scott's a questionable senator. I still think Florida is likely going to go to the Republicans. I don't really see that as being, a toss-up swing state. Now, as for, as for everything else, it's interesting. So, Here's the thing about the Senate. If it's 50-50, then I predict the Democrats to win the presidency, so therefore I'm going to predict them to win the Senate too by extension, but it would go to whoever wins the presidency if, that prediction winds up panning out. And obviously, I'm only giving Dems 43 seats. So, this is going to be interesting. Oh, and Hawaii is safe blue, and I put that there. Now, as for the lean blue states, I think that Nevada is going to go in this column. And same for Arizona. Again, we'll see. I don't think Sinema's winning in Arizona, but I can't see. I think they're putting like a bit of an extreme Republican in Arizona, though I'm not sure. And I really don't want to leave the site because I don't know how my Screencastify settings are set up. But Arizona's been shifting more to the blue, and I don't think that they like their candidate. So I think Arizona, the Senate seat in Arizona, it will go blue. Or will stay blue. In Nevada, again, you got a popular Democratic incumbent in there. They're winning that election. Now, as for the other states, again, incumbency advantage in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, they'll win, but I think in the lean columns. I think it's going to be, again, in that 1 to 5%. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Joe Manchin retired, so Washington is probably actually safe red in that case. And now it's 49 to 48. Ohio, Montana, Texas are the three states that I think are really just up in contention. And now it gets mildly interesting. It gets mildly interesting as to what happens next, involving these three states. Because I really think that these three states are going to be the states that determine Senate control to the biggest degree, even though a lot of people might not exactly agree with that take. Even though people might not exactly, agree with that take. And looking at it, I do want to go on my phone and look at the polls, just because, again, I'm not totally sure what they're saying. Now, Ohio, you have the Democratic incumbent running, and they've been kind of flip-floppy on who's going to win. Given how there is a Democratic incumbent, though, I am going to put it in the tilt Democrat column. Montana does have a popular incumbent for the Democratic side, but I'm going to put it in the lean Republican category. And the reason I'm going to put it in the lean Republican category is just because, I think that polls haven't exactly been, showing him the incumbent, doing that well. They've all been saying it's going to probably flip. I think that it will flip, even though I think it's going to, be close. I think that it is going to flip. But now here is my really controversial, really hot take. Even though I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with this. Ted Cruz is going to narrowly lose Texas, which will make it a 50-50 tie. I think Democrats do actually retain the Senate in this scenario. Obviously, even if my prediction is totally right, I could still be wrong on who wins the Senate if the presidential prediction that I made is wrong. If Trump wins and this exact map happens, it's a Republican Senate, which, I think is kind of fascinating. But here's why I'm putting Texas in this category. As we all know, a devastating cold wave and winter storm swept through Texas in February 2021, and Ted Cruz left the state. Democrats are going to be using this against Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is also one of the most extreme Republicans in Congress that, we see. And we even saw this effect in 2018. Cruz won by 2.6%. Trump won the presidency by 5.6%. And the other senator had no problems getting reelected. I think that, you look at this, you look at what's going on in Texas, and they're trying their best to get Democrats to not vote. They're making it almost impossible for Democrats to vote. This might energize them and cause them to come out more. The effect of of minorities moving to Texas is unclear, but it seems that Texas has been shifting blue. Combine this with an extreme Republican, moderates might be inclined to vote for the Democrat. And I think that Ted Cruz loses re-election in Texas. I think that Texas is going to go the way of the Democrats. And now just for fun, gubernatorial elections, because there's some of those up. For re-election. They're saying that New Hampshire is a toss-up. I'm pretty sure the same guy who is popular is running, but I could be wrong on that one. I could potentially be wrong on that one. I can't even see my own face. Looking at that. Oh, wait, no, the Republican is retiring, and they're putting in Kelly Ayotte, who was a former senator from that state. That's going to be interesting, actually. I'd love to see how the New Hampshire goes. That's going to be interesting. Again, North Carolina, you do have that popular incumbent. I might put it in the lean just because of how partisan everything is getting. Indiana, I'm surprised they're putting it in lean. I'm actually going to put it in safe. I agree with everything else. Even Vermont, I know it's it's safe for blue states you're gonna get, but they have a popular Republican incumbent. Now New Hampshire, I think is gonna tilt Republican. Republicans have been, doing good there for a while, and I think that Kelly Ayotte is going to win. I know Sununu was really popular and he's leaving. I think Ayotte, though, could still win the election.